Survivors of the Flux. What a story. But was it actually any good? Well, so this story kicked off immediately where Village of the Angels ended, with the Doctor turning into a Weeping Angel. And while I did like that we got to see how the Weeping Angels live in this dark sort of world, and I like that we got to see the Doctor stuck in this kind of dark world, I was also very disappointed that the Doctor was even there. I was honestly expecting a very Doctorless episode. So for me, you know, seeing the Doctor immediately, you know, she was fine, you know, she's okay. That made that cliffhanger seem so pointless and just stupid. Which is sad because it was such a great cliffhanger, but the opening for this episode ruined it for me. And then we immediately cut to Yaz and Dan in these historical outfits, and they were rocking these outfits, especially Dan. Like, they both looked really, really good. And this whole sort of storyline of them breaking into this kind of temple in Mexico gave me really Indiana Jones kind of vibes. I loved it. And then I completely freaked out when the Ood appeared. I love the Ood. They are such a fascinating, such a cool, underused and underrated alien. Now back to Yaz and Dan's Indiana Jones story. I really liked the scene of the scene that was set in the boat cabin. Again, Indiana Jones vibes. But I kind of liked Yaz showing off her fighting skills. I thought this was a really cool scene, although I thought that it was very odd that a dead man in the cabin was just so overlooked. Even if Yaz wasn't freaking out about it, like Dan and Jericho, surely they would have freaked out. However, I do like that we kind of got to see the ramifications from the Weeping Angels sending Yaz and Dan back in time. We got to see that they were genuinely concerned about how they were going to get back. We saw that they had been not struggling, just kind of learning to survive living in the 20th century. Now, like with the Cybermen back in Once Upon a Time, I was genuinely disappointed that we didn't see enough of the Ood. Now, Belle also appeared in this story, and again I found her to be slightly annoying, but I'm honestly glad that we didn't get to see a lot of her in this story. We also saw Vinder arrive at the kind of heart of the attack. We saw him arrive where the swarm were and where Passenger was, and it didn't look good for what's to come. Also in this story we got a lot of information about Division, and we got to find out that the Division were jumping between universes, which again introduced the idea of the multiverse. And the old woman who is basically leading the Division, she was playing out to be a big mystery. And as the Doctor questioned her, we found out that she was actually the woman who found the Doctor and basically raised the Doctor. And look, I was honestly surprised by this. This was a nice surprise. I say nice surprise. It was a surprise in this story because I didn't expect this. I was honestly getting like Rani vibes from her. The Grand Serpent was also back in this story, and we saw him basically at the birth of UNIT. So I was expecting, you know, as a jump between decades, I was expecting some references or even an appearance from the Brigadier or Yates or someone like that from UNIT. So I was a bit disappointed by that. But either way, I enjoyed the storyline of finding out how UNIT began. Also, the snake creature with the Grand Serpent was pretty cool. I really like the Grand Serpent as a villain. He's evil and he does it so well. Now, while I don't like or agree with the Timeless Child storyline, it was refreshing and rather interesting to find out some more information about Division, about what Division has to do with the Doctor and with Gallifrey. Now back to Vinder and the Swarm now. This scene was great when he came face to face with the Swarm. I was honestly scared, I was terrified for Vinder, because this is a character that I've grown to rather enjoy throughout the series. So I was scared for what they were going to do to him. And it seems he's alive still, but I presume he's inside a passenger. I don't know, we'll find out next week. I also want to quickly mention Jericho. Now he's a great character. I love how he's written. He's written as such, like I said, such a great character, and I'd love to see him as a companion or even a future Doctor. Now, why did the guy from the 1800s Liverpool waltz into the cabin on the boat? And as I asked myself that question, we got some answers. We went down into the Liverpool tunnels and discovered that there are doorways under the tunnels that are basically leading to other worlds. And then at the end of the episode, one of those doorways opened and in marched the Sontarans. Kate Stewart! Woo-woo. The entire episode I was waiting for Kate to show up, and so when she did, I freaked out. I love that Kate was onto the Grand Serpent, like she knew that he was up to something. Kate is back next week though, and I'm very excited to see her again. We also had a little mention of Osgood when she was being trapped by the Grand Serpent and he blew up her house. So I'm hoping that with Kate back next week, we can also get Osgood as well. As I mentioned before, the Sontarans returned in this story. A very, very great surprise to have the Sontarans back. As I mentioned in my review of War of the Sontarans, I love this version of the Sontarans. I love the look. I love how just angry they are and how basically they're trying to invade Earth. And I like that in this story they appeared through different points in time, so they're basically continuing their invasion of time. And yeah, I'm so happy to see the Sontarans are back for the finale. Now the cliffhanger was a great cliffhanger, not the best of the series, but it was a good cliffhanger. With this cliffhanger as well, there is now a lot set up for the finale next week, which it is going to be a crazy ride for the series final. While there are a lot of bits and pieces that I really did enjoy about this episode, there's also a lot that I really didn't like, and I think the things that I didn't like kind of take over. So for this week's episode, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I did find that the constant jumping between time periods was a bit annoying and did become frustrating, and yeah, frustrating with trying to keep up with where we were in the episode. And I thought that while I appreciated some of the sets and everything, I thought the time jumping was a bit much. However, I did absolutely love the globe-trotting adventure that we went on with Yaz, Dan and Jericho. I love these three as a team. I thought they worked really, really well. Their chemistry was amazing. And same with last week with Yaz and Dan, I also this week enjoyed their chemistry together. I thought that they were just awesome, and I loved this portion of the story. It really felt like I was watching a 90s movie, like The Mummy or something like that. It was really, really good. And I would have been happy if the episode was just these three searching for something to do with what happened to the Doctor or something like that. Like, I was focused on these three for the majority of the episode. Next week though, Kate is back, the Daleks are back, the Cybermen are back, the Sontarans are back, a chameleon arc as well. We are in for a wild ride for the series finale. Here's a little snippet.
Peoples of the universe, the warriors of Sontar offer you hope.
I am the head of human resistance against Sontaran occupation.
And now we will ensure that the Flux takes apart your entire universe.
We have everything we need.
You try and kill me right now.
You have no escape.
Will the Doctor get her memories back? Will the universe be destroyed by the Flux? There is a lot riding in this series finale, and I'm very, very excited to see how it all ends. Don't miss my video this Friday, because I'm going to be revealing my Flux finale theories, and then join me next week for the final Who review of Doctor Who Flux.
Hello, this is Sylvester McCoy here, Doctor Who number 7. I want to say, Whovians, don't forget to subscribe to Whovian Comely. There's a new video every week. And you don't have to be comely to watch it. You can be uncomely too.